All right, good morning. Howdy, howdy, howdy. We are back, another 9:05, and we're back here in the morning with some fun stuff. So, let's see. Who we got in the chat already today? We got Sean is here. Sean is here every day. Very happy about that. Cool dude. Talked a little bit on the Discord channel the other day, which I might just pop into real quick and snag a link from. So, let's see. Can I grab a link from that? Pardon me. Copy. Here we go. And 6 of this one. Discord. Fun. There we go. And let's see. Where are we going today? Okay, well, we are continuing our D&D inspired creature series. Gives me something to do in the morning, something to sketch up for everybody. And oh yeah, almost forgot. Oh yeah. So yesterday's little tidbit, finished that guy out, and let's see here, so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. So there he is. One happy little beholder. See the base there a little bit. A little bit of a shine coming off of it, but and I did a little thing with this. Let's see here now. There we go. Ta-ta! So he's designed with a little hole in the bottom. I guess that's where he excretes. And so the base has a little peg sticking out through the center. Yeah, little guy just kind of mount him right there like that, and he can turn around on his base. Nifty. So I'm super stoked with that. I actually have a second one that ran, so I'm probably gonna run a few of these and keep them on hand. 'Cause I don't know, I feel like it's a critter that some folks might really want. You know, it's kind of a beloved concept among all the creatures of D&D. So, yeah, there's this little guy. Beholder. Okay. So, Sean mentions that the eye stalks are posed. Of course. And that's something I might do a little thing on sometimes, because I didn't rig that one the way I normally would, like taking it over into Manga Studio or Maya. That one, I did all the posing inside Zbrush, which is super fast. It's not as accurate by a long shot. So, but with something that's as, wiggly biggly as those eye stalks, you can get away with a lot there. Alrighty. Well, let's get with it. Okay, let's send this on over to Zed. Zed is dead, baby. Zed is dead. Zed is not dead. Zed is very alive. ZBrush is awesome. So today's subject is going to be a blight, and I'm going to go with tree blight of sorts. And I'm going to take it as an opportunity to work with Z-spheres. So let's draw a Z-sphere out here. Go immediately into X symmetry here. Just X to hit the symmetry. And then I want to make sure I can see which way is the side. Okay, there's Z-axis, X-axis. So I'm going to use this to just create a quick armature here. And one of the things I like about this particular concept is we can get really wild with some crazy proportions and do creepy, creepy stuff with that. Okay. There we go. I want to shrink some of this down. I don't want to blow my my workspace out. There we go. I always forget that key command. Control will move a Z-sphere and everything downstream from it. Okay. Now let's really stretch some stuff out here. And I'm going to add a subtool here so I have something as a reference for the ground that I can kind of attach to a little bit. There we go. Now then, let's play around a little bit here. Okay. Keep it relatively symmetrical to start with, just while we get some forms and things down. So I think that'll work out really well there. Let's make those arms just crazy long. decent armature so far for what I want. Playing around with building up some hands on here. And I'm only going to go with like 2 fingers on it, at least for now. Because this, I don't know, I feel like going to, probably going to go to a miniature anyway. I don't know, maybe 3 fingers. Let's do a 3rd finger. Right. That's going to give me an armature that I think is going to work out pretty well. Let's move these around a bit. Maybe a bit more like that. Okay. Alright, so from here, let's go to... Oh god, we could use Z-Sketch. I haven't used Z-Sketch in forever. I even remember how. Oh my god. Yeah. I'd have to remind myself, I used to use Z-Sketch all the time, and I haven't used it in forever. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a mesh of this, make an adaptive skin, and then append that onto here. We'll just hide this guy. So most of the work is going to be done using sculptress mode. So let's just go ahead into that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's just get some more shaping going on here. I want some of this stuff thinned down. It's going to end up being very tree-like. That's the idea. It's tree blight. So I want to thin some of this stuff up a little bit before I go working with it too much. And then we're going to Dynamesh. Cool. Now then, let's start building up some volume. Needs to have a nice tree trunky sort of body going on here. I'm going to pull head kind of wide. There we go. The nice thing about this is it's such an abstract sort of thing that, you know, we can have a lot of leeway with it. And build all kinds of crazy shapes on it. Of course, at some point I'm going to have to introduce some asymmetry in, but right now I want to get my overall structure in place before I do that. I really want to thicken these legs up. I think that's going to give it, really contribute to the tree-ness of it. And my trusty clay buildup is going to come into play quite a bit, I think. So let's turn this aside so I can get these nice fast side strokes down this. Okay. Every once in a while, I'm just kind of hitting the Alt key to cut in, just to help build some of that irregularity there. Turn that floor off now, it's a little distracting. I made a tree golem a few years ago as part of a golem series. Years ago, geez, probably about 10 years ago now, 10 or 12. And I want to make sure that I'm not completely repeating myself with this. It's getting me some nice, just kind of big stampy clay feeling bits and bobs on it. That's very useful. You start to see things in those little shapes as they form. It's part of the exploration of sculpting, and I really, really dig that part. So I'll play around here with ways to pull a face out of this. Of course, it's a blight, so they should be kind of ominous. Kind of go for a tree stump sort of thing here by carving down into that head. Alright, I want to go ahead and start carving into some things with my damn standard. Let's see, thinking here for just a minute. Thinking going kind of a little bit of a swamp thingy sort of route here. Let's feel like he's too upright. It's just way too upright. So oh, let's think. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's think about this a little bit. This is, man, I feel like I'm running into a brick wall here. I really do. Really, really do. Why not? Let's go ahead and do a quick Z remesh, nice and low. Just let this thing go down to something small. Some low-res stuff so that it can be easily posed. And then I can manipulate that much easier that way. Yeah, it needs a lot more work done like that. I want to hunch back this thing, give it a little more life. Take it away from being so damn humanoid. Like, it's gonna be humanoid, but I want to give it more craziness to it. That I like. That's starting to give it much more of a dynamic feel that I can get into. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it needs. That's where it needs to go. Alright. And for once, I'm going to use that snake hook brush a little bit, which I don't do very often at all. So I'm going to treat this as a bit of a base to work from. Just pulling a few things out here and there, getting some little stumpy bits added on. And I'd say I'm going to Z remesh it every once in a while. Make posing easier and manipulation a little more fluid. Not worrying about details here. I'm just trying to bash into this some shape. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, this is feeling much better. Much better to me. Okay. Let's get the foundation on this guy nailed down here, and then I think of some cool tricks we're going to pull later. I'll hunchback him a little bit because I almost want to add like some bushing up onto his back. It'd be an interesting way to do some of that. Is start coming in here with this clay buildup and set to spray. Just interesting too to me because it's neat because it actually yields a very tree barky sort of feel. Sounds like somebody's up. I hear the sneezes. Alright. Let's play with these proportions just a little bit here. Pull these arms back some. Give some room for some things. Let's start to kind of add some little stuff. This is definitely one that I'm gonna have a base sculpt and then probably a topology that it picks up some details from, or a topology that I use to pose it, and then pick up details later out of that. My significant other has entered the kitchen, which, as you all probably know, is just like right over there. So right that way, right past the camera I'm pointing you to, past it, over there. I expect to hear dogs yowling any minute. They do that when she's in the kitchen because they know she is the giver of treats. Okay, where are we going from here? There's a neat little thing about the snake hook brush, by the way, is that if you have the snake hook brush in use and you hold the Alt key while you're using it, then as it pulls a mesh, if there are subtools, it will snap what it pulls, or try to snap what it pulls to those, which is one of the reasons I wanted to put that ground piece on here so that I could do this. And this is, if I were just making a regular tree, this is kind of my preferred way of making the roots. So I get some knots and things in different spots. work these roots up into here. Just see. This is a very therapeutic sort of thing to sculpt because it doesn't really have any anatomy. So I get to kind of put a lot of stuff aside and just play with shapes. And that's just fun. Hey, darling. Could I trouble you for a cup of coffee? That'd be awesome. Ugh, she's so good to me. That's awesome. Yeah, really feeling good about this shape so far. Let's come back out of that and build back up some of this. Okay. I like those little knots for his elbows. Thank you. Thank you. Coffee is always necessary. Whew. Alright. Let's come back into this volume up here now. I think I want to expand this even more. And then I'm going to smooth some of it. Start playing around with maybe adding some shapes of like leaves and things into that. Now let's get a little bit of noise going up and down this arm piece here too. I'm gonna pull a little trickery here to do some stuff with the fingers. So I'm going to duplicate this cube that I'm using for a ground plane here, and just going to pull this up here kind of flat to the palms, and then take my sculptress mode. I'm going to essentially use smoothing to erase those fingers off. Like they served a purpose in that they kind of gave me a visual to kind of chew on for a minute. But now I think I want to come back in with that snake hook brush and make them much less human. Make them almost more vine-like. so that they have some branching coming off of them. Now let's move that plane over here and maybe rotate it like that. So we can use that to keep making branches on things. I am not looking forward to setting up supports on this to print with, but I think it's going to be a cool piece anyway. Good flows. Start adding in some of these details. Let's change this over to gray wax. So it looks a little more like or the green clay is going to look a little bit more to my eyes like what I know I'm going to get out of the gray resin I like to use. Alright, let's make a clone of this brush and come in here with a little something else here. There we go. It's going to let us carve more grooves in a little faster. Really easy for me to just kind of drift off in this, so if I get a little quiet, bear with me. I don't want to overdo it on all these grooves because I want to let it have enough surface area that when I print this, it can get some paint. But boy, when I paint, I do really like having enough detail there to do a lot of dry brushing with. So I don't know. We'll see. Poly count's not too bad so far. It's like 1.5 million polys, so we could really just subdivide this and do all kinds of details. But kind of like just keeping it right here in sculptress mode. Add a little variation in the way those flow right there. I should have titled this video "Got Wood." Okay. All right. I'm going to keep a copy of him because he is symmetrical, but I'm going to go ahead and start adding some asymmetry into this. Going to inflate some of these a little bit so I got something to grab onto. Okay. And then let's go in here and move this piece down like that. I want to add some asymmetry into the face. I think that'll make it much more interesting. Did it just kill my undo queue? That's usually a sign that Zbrush is getting ready to crash. It starts getting stupid about memory issues and stuff. Because it's wonky like that sometimes. Alright, now let's just add a little more asymmetry in. Man, that little bit of asymmetry just helps so much. Makes such a big difference. Now then, I want to come through here and kind of play around a little bit with something. Wow, I need to wrap this up soon. Okay. So, kind of want to add some leaves, little things like that on here. Trying to think of what's going to be my best route for that. Could do a VDM, stamp them in. Could use a mesh project. Of course, they got the lazy radius on that thing cranked up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use a mesh project to just get these kind of randomized shapes in here. Oh, it freaked out. There we go. Let's just see where we can get to with that. Also want to see what this is going to do if I dynamesh it. See how much detail I lose. Definitely want to project details. It's going to take a second because it's projecting. While it's doing that, I will pop over to the chat. Thank you very much. Mr. Sean says this turned out really good. Tree creatures are hard to do. It was always one of the toughest challenges on Face Off. I watched Face Off religiously. I think they're going to bring it back. I hope so. Glenn Hetrick was posting some stuff the other day that was like, wow, dude, you know, come on, don't tease us like that. So hopefully it's going to come back. Is this still projecting? It's still projecting. Spanish moss. Yeah. You know, I'm tempted. Oh, I'm so tempted to play with this. I may end up I may end up doing a couple variants on this. I probably will do a couple variants on this to have in the collectible store, so that we can have like maybe some that have some leaves and stuff, or even some little things that are like add-ons you could glue onto it, of like, you know, sprigs of leaves and some dangling pieces of moss. I don't know. I just gotta think through. It's really weird and kind of interesting to me. You know, it's like I have to think the stuff through a little differently, going to a physical piece. Yeah, talking about Face Off, man, I don't know what's wrong with sci-fi. That show was so strong. Just Face Off was so strong, so good. They tried. I think they got upset with it when they tried to spin it off into some other variants of it, like one that was about like building sets, and another one that was, I don't know, something else. But Face Off was the original, and it was awesome. I think when the other ones didn't do so well, you know, they got kind of stupid with it. Plus, you know, it's like they had Glenn Hetrick, Patrick Tatopoulos, and V. Neal, who are such heavy hitters. And you know, I would bet you some of the bean counters at Sci-Fi were like, that costs too much. We could do the same thing with cheaper people. Like, no, man, you want the big dogs. You want the big pros who are time tested and amazing. You know, I mean, that was the whole thing about having, you know, Michael Westmore and Mackenzie Westmore involved. It was like, these people, all these people are legends, and that was a cool thing. But yeah, yeah. Sean says Sci-Fi went stupid. Same thing with The Expanse, and look what happened with that. Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel has been just falling all over their own 2 feet for a long time, and I don't know. I think they feel like they have such a grip on the term sci-fi almost, that it's like, I don't know. I can riff on that for hours. They have irritated me forever and a day. Yeah, true. Dude says the other shows didn't have Mackenzie hosting. She grew up with that stuff and gave her insight, asking questions. Yeah, Mackenzie was made for that. She was just perfect. Um, yeah, that whole thing was just wacky. And isn't she married to Patrick Tatopoulos too? Aren't they a couple? I don't know. I think so. I thought they were. Um, so again, it's like, I don't know. If they are, then you've got this like power couple of the sci-fi world and all this cool stuff. It's like, man, you know, this it's great. But whatever, you know. Yeah, I got to, you know, I've got some friends who've been involved with it. One friend who's actually on the show and won one season. So, but I'm not gonna say who it was, because name dropping can be lame. But uh, yeah, man, that was super cool. I miss it. Yay, we have Dynameshed, and I think we have, oh good, we have solid details in our Dynamesh. Very, very nice. Very nice, very nice. And enough resolution in the Dynamesh that I can add some more stuff without even having to go into Sculptress. Well, that is just Superfly Sexapated right there. Mm-hmm. Sexy. Let's go back to my clay build up for a second so that we can get a little bit more of that chunk, because I do like some chunk. He needs some chunk in his trunk. Literally, because it's his butt, but he's a tree. So, chunk in his trunk. Oh my god. There's so many good tree jokes. Yeah, it's going to add some nice Just continuing asymmetry right there. I want to give the impression of some eyes in here. Just nice and deep, but then pull something out of there that can be dry brushed on. Create these little dots. That's a sculptress moment right there. Cool, cool. Yeah, let's get some lines going across there. Just feel like that really added something to it. If you can, I don't know if you can see my arm real well on the camera there, but like, I'm hitting this with these kind of jerky movements that really kind of lend themselves to creating these kind of little gashy sort of shapes. See, some areas do still have a little symmetry to them, which is handy. That way I can go in there and just kind of add some fun stuff. Some little greebly sorts of things. I'm trying to think, if I'm working on something I know I'm going to make a mini out of, then I try to think about things that'll be fun to paint. Textural bits to, you know, and areas to create recesses and stuff that'll be interesting. Like right here, I almost want to be able to paint kind of a stumpy sort of thing here. Let's go back and look at this area here where I was thinking about, you know, something leafy. Of course, this gives us a nice little pile to work with. But, I don't know. I'm feeling like, let's go grab a different smoothing brush. Do a smooth stronger. I want to work a lot of that back out. And I did give it a nice volume there. Let's see how well this Dynameshes again without that projection on. See if it keeps its details. Oh, looks like it did. Nice. Good deal. Good deal. So let's just work some of that out. I can see where there's going to be some undercuts and things there that I don't like, so I need to think about that just a little bit. There we go. I do like that volume it gives for putting like a mound of leaves up on top. Okay. So let me save this guy real quick and so then, from there, let's do... I think VDMs are going to be the way to go. Yeah. So let's pop over and grab a plane. Make a poly mesh of it. Okay. Store morph target of it. And turn off smoothing. Subdivide up over 1,000,000. Okay. And then I'm going to take this lasso here. Okay. Lift that out. And inflate over that a little bit. Okay. Grab an H polish. Get some edges kind of buffed into that. Doesn't have to be super detailed because a lot of it is going to get lost. Okay. So then, oh, let's see. Can I make alpha brush from that? Sure looks like it can. Nice. I like that. All right, so then there, let's see if we can do what I think we can do. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be better just to place those. Maybe we'll go to a drag dot. Even then, I'm not real happy with that, actually. really don't feel like that's giving me... I mean, it says it's giving me a 3D alpha off that. Yeah, no, it's definitely giving it to me. Oh, let's see here. Let's go back up to this one. Did it kill my undo cue? Of course it did. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can just be a little turd like that. Okay. Let's get it a little bit less flat, and I bet that will make for a better VDM. Let's try that and see what we get. I do not like that it is just killing my undo cue. Give this a second to compact the memory. I'm running over on my time a little bit, but I think after I get this brush set up, we should be able to wrap this. Come on, Zbrush. Oh, do your thing. Yeah. I think there's a memory leak or something going on in Zbrush, this latest build. I have more memory issues out of this build than in a long, long time. Good Lord, man, it is still chugging. Still chugging on that. That's not cool. I find this bothersome. Come on, Zbrush. Yep, that's magical. May have to... Oop. Trying to crash. It is trying to crash. I'm going to... Oh, did it finally release? Yay, it finally released. How kind of you, Zbrush. You know, not like I'm... Not... Isn't like I'm not in a live stream or anything. Okay, cool. I think this second VDM I made here is going to be the one. Yeah, that's going to give me a lot better relief on that. Let's go back and use the first one then the way I started to, as a spray. I can use that to build up some rough shape here. Okay. I'll spray these on down his back. Now, switch that off. Go here. I may still need to smooth it. I may just need to like smooth some stuff down and yeah. Alright, let's change this. Do some dots. Yeah, that's the way to go here. That's definitely the way to go. I think my lawn guy is here. I can hear a lawnmower run outside. Hope it's not coming through on the stream too bad. One of these days I'll have my studio soundproofed. I would love that. I would love to have my studio soundproofed. I'd never leave it. Of course, I'll practically never leave it as it is, but that's okay. Man, I really would like to be able to amplify the effect of that brush. Like, I wish I could boost the intensity of that somehow. Let's see what happens if I change the embed level. Really not much. That's okay. There we go. Yeah, after I have like some volume put in here with this, I just don't want it to get so noisy. It needs to have some delineation. So I can tell looking at that, you know, some of that's not going to paint real well. So then I'll need to kind of come back in after the fact and stamp in some stuff like smooth an area and stamp some of these in so that we get something that just kind of indicates it better when it prints. Alright. And then I want to add a little asymmetry to that back there. Cool. Alright, I think that's going to bring this to a close. Probably off stream, I'd say I'm going to go over some of it a little bit and you know, try to probably go over some of it, maybe do a quick topo on it that I can use for posing. Like do a quick topo and then have details project out of that. Feels like a pretty viable piece to me so far. Come back in, add a little bit more love into some of these smooth looking pieces here. So this guy, of course I don't know what size screen you're on, but I'm looking at my screen and about how big I would want this guy to print. So right there, this is a good material for judging how details are going to translate into a miniature. Oh, I'm out of coffee. That's garbage. You know what? Sometimes the tiniest little change at the last minute makes all the difference. And I really like those arms better now. I was kind of thinking about that. Much better. Much better. There we go. I don't know what. It's just funny sometimes how little things like that make such a difference. So the hands will obviously get posed. So this is effectively his neutral, his T-pose. Take a quick shot. Yeah, once you see that with some shadows and stuff in it, I think that works out really, really well. I may add a few random leaves, like create a... you know what? Why not just go ahead and do that since I'm already in here? Let's pop over here onto this plane and take a copy of this and wait, get rid of my subdivs. There. No, don't do that. There we go. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Making a little leaf. There we go. Do this one more time. Yay! Okay, cool. Now then. There's the ant. I'm probably asking for trouble with what I'm doing here. Whenever it goes time to print it. But we shall see. We shall see. Like that. I want that nice and thick. And then there we go. And since this is for something sculpty and for a mini, I'm going to go ahead and put in some of this crazy stuff. A lot of that will probably get lost in the end, I know, but that's okay. Okay, and let's make... Good lord, I do not want an 89,000 poly insert brush. That's just silly. So let's remesh this down quite a bit. See if it holds any details. It doesn't need to hold a lot. Hey, that's great. That's beautiful. That's at 10,000. That's at 5,000. There we go. Perfect. Let's make an insert mesh out of that. Come back over to our boy here. And I do think I would prefer that to be going this way. We'll just append that onto the existing one. And then from there, I'm going to pop that off into its own subtool. Split it. And then we'll be stamping these in from here. I think I might make a change to this. Oop. Derp. There we go. I'm just blasting a ton of these in here. Just see where we go with it. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, see, I really wanted that. Don't want it to paint that in from the center of the stinking thing. Yeah, it's doing it from the center on them. I can't recall off the top of my head the best way to set that up for that pivot point to be where I want it. So I thought that it should do it from there. I'm gonna try a couple things real quick before I kill it. Derp. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright. Yay! Sweet. It's tempting just to make the leaf like a little thing, like on its own, a single piece, and then just print like a whole sheet full of those. To add to it. Just pull them off and glue them on. Of course, I'm fully aware here that a lot of this will need to be tweaked out before it goes to a mini. I know this kind of stuff that I'm stamping in here is like really, really aggravating to try to print. So I'm sure that there'll be some editing going on of all that. But I at least want to get it in here so I can see it. And y'all can see it on the stream. I do think that it adds quite a bit. I like the thought of having a few of these sticking out of here to help break up his silhouette. Let's see if we can take it into a curve mode and throw a ton of them around it. If we want, that's a bit much. That's a little better. Yeah, oh, I like that. There we go. That's what I wanted to land on. So I'm definitely going to save that that brush too, because I like that brush. I like the way that came out. All right, so let's take a render of this guy. Did I go over? Oh yeah, I went over a lot. That's okay. So really happy with that. Let's do a quick turntable of it. Nope. I'd say I will go through and do a lot more with the leaves. I'm thinking I'm going to create kind of more of a shell of leaves on his back. I've got a clearer idea of how to do that. What's going to work best for the look that I want. But yeah, this really gives a lot to work with. Very happy with it. He's definitely going to get topologized so that he can be posed. Get him in a nice dynamic pose, some leaves going on him, and a nice base. And this guy will look good. Definitely. Very, very cool. Alright, so save him. Oh, it'd be so tempting to put little LEDs in the eyes, like do a large print of this, more like a Trient, and put LEDs in the eyes, a little battery like hidden somewhere. God, that'd be cool. That'd be so cool. All right. So that is going to bring us to a close for today. So we're a little thin in the chat today, but that's okay. Folks who may watch this after the fact, hope you enjoy it. Sean, thanks for hanging out with me on this. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the little subscribe bell. That's always important. And, of course, remember, come to 6s1.com, sign up for the newsletter. Oh, I have to resituate myself. It's funny, I end up, like, as I'm working, I find myself sliding down. So then when I pop back over, I'm like, you know, it looks like I'm, 5 inches shorter or some crap. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, and I hope you dig it. Come back tomorrow, 9:05, for another of our morning sculpts as we continue this Monster Manual series. So, till then, see ya.